Back once again for the renegade master. 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 Back once again for the renegade master.
Hello my renegades, and we are back. And what are we back to? We are back to Love is Blind after the altar, and we are on the very last episode 16, and we are about to get into it. But before we do, as I always say, please hit that subscribe button, please hit that notification button so you know when I am back and doing videos. And let's start talking about this episode, because we know that the cast members have now met. They're all here to play their little football game. So you have the Golden Gobs and the pub squad, pub squad, I should say. The pub squad. And already Josh is on his fuck shit. That man doesn't know when to keep his mouth shut. He literally always has to be center of attention. Like he don't. You lot can correct me if I'm wrong, but this man just has to be center of attention. Brett tried to rein him in, but he was not listening, because all you heard was Josh's mouth, and I was like, boy, why you shut your mouth? Like, seriously, read the room and what's going on right now. You don't have to be the loudest one in the group. Nobody else is overtaking you or overshadowing you. Shut your mouth. Like, seriously, be quiet, because all you're doing is making yourself look like a damn fool. That's how I saw it. That's all he was doing, was making himself look like a damn fool. But then, when it came to the throw, Josh is meant to be this football player, is he not? Or ex-football player, whatever it is that he does. That's why he's got the cauliflower ears. And Marshall managed to get a throw and managed to get the point as well. He didn't even catch Marshall. He was left in Marshall's dust at the end of the day. So Josh was actually making them lose the bloody game while he was trying to showboat at the same time. So then you see that Amber pulls Paul to one side, and they're actually having a chat, and the fact that Amber's saying that she's moving to San Diego, as is Paul is moving to San Diego. But Amber called him out for avoiding her, rightly so, at the end of the day, because you're all adults. It's time to act like adults and conversate like you are adults. If you've got a problem with someone, then open up your mouth and have that discussion with them, so then they can actually have a chance to rebuttal back if they need to. So Paul was basically saying that he was scared because the last time that he came into contact with someone, everybody accused him of smacking this girl on the butt. And I know exactly which clip they're talking about. And it was at the end of the wedding when he'd said no. Michael was upset. He was walking into the room to go speak to Michael, or walking out of it. I don't know which one. And I think one of Micah's bridesmaids was stood there, and it did kind of look like as he was walking past, he brushed the girl's batty. I ain't gonna lie, that's what it did look like, but it spread like wildfire, and Paul caught onto it basically. So he was actually scared to speak to Amber when they were in the same room together to have those discussions. And all I thought is, Paul, that's an absolute cop-out. That is an absolute cop-out when you actually knew that Amber was quite an open person. Even from when you spoke to her in the pod, you knew that Amber was quite an open person, and she would have listened to what you had to say rather than playing the ignorance game at the end of the day. Because that's what he did. He played the ignorance game, and then he couldn't play the ignorance game no more when Amber was in front of his face and calling him out on his bullshit. And I have to say, Chelsea makes me laugh. Chelsea makes me laugh because she don't brook no argument with no one. So Michael was having this conversation with Chelsea, and her and Chelsea have no love lost between them at the end of the day, because of the bullshit that she tried to carry on with Kwame, and the bullshit she was trying to put through in the show in regards to Kwame, to the fact that she had to then apologise to Chelsea in terms of how it looked. But Michael was telling her about how she's now coming to settle full-time in Seattle, and Chelsea was quite bland blank, point blank with her, as if to say that she doesn't think her person's there in Seattle at the end of the day, and probably she needs to move from Seattle to find her person. But to be fair, I don't think Chelsea had any interest in what Michael was trying to say, and I think she just literally wasn't really listening to what Michael was saying. She just wanted Michael to say what she had to say and then move along. But you can let me know what you thought, but that's how I was seeing it when I was watching it. So then it moves on. We know the Pod Squad won the football game. The Pod Squad won fair and square, and then it's all meeting up for the night out, basically. So everybody's met up at this little bar. Marshall straight off the bat saying that he needs to have a conversation with Jackie to basically move things forward and lay everything to rest. And I'm like, why? At the end of the day, you have talked this shit out. At the end of the day, she says some really horrific things towards you and against you. Me, myself, I would not have anything more to say to Jackie or to the situation at the end of the day, because I would look at it as though I've now moved on with someone and I am very happy with the person that I've moved on with. So I don't need to have this conversation with you in order to dead things or settle things, because at the end of the day, as far as I'm concerned, it's done. I wouldn't have had that conversation at all, but Marshall, being Marshall, wanted to have that conversation with Jackie. And then he comes in with an apology saying that sorry for him pressurizing her into a relationship when he didn't see the signs that she truly did not want that relationship. And I'm sorry, no, I don't think Marsha should have apologized, because at the end of the day, Jackie was not saying exactly what she was thinking and feeling at the time, because even from when it went to the honeymoon, she was literally playing jumpstart with this dude, because one day she'll be pushing him away and then the next day she's asking him just to love her. So how in Marshall's mind he thought he was pressurizing her into a situation she didn't want to be in is beyond me, because at the end of the day, she should have let Marshall know that she was not feeling him from the honeymoon bit. Or even from down to the giving of the ring bit, when she realized that Marshall wasn't her type of guy, she should have spoken to him and had those adult conversations with him, but she didn't. And she played a merry game up until the fitting, and Marshall actually went to the fitting in that point when he knew something was wrong. And then he went back and had those conversations with Jackie. But Jackie was rather insulting at the end of the day. But nowhere previous to that did she tell him in any certain way that she was not feeling a relationship with him. Yes, she was showing it in her actions. But at the end of the day, she needed to verbalize this properly as an adult, rather than doing one thing and then turning around and saying to him, as I've just said, all I need you to do is to love me. That's what she said to him. That's not deading things there and then. So for Marsha to apologize for saying, I'm sorry for pressurizing you into a relationship, I'm sorry. I don't think he should have apologized at that point. I really don't think he should have apologized in regards to the relationship, because at the end of the day, the responsibility, I'm sorry, you can agree to disagree with me, was on her shoulders at that point. So then Jackie basically apologized to him, saying that she should have been more open and nurturing. And I'm like, how are you going to be open and nurturing to someone that you were not interested in at the end of the day? Because point blank period, you, from meeting him to get the ring, realized that you made the wrong decision, but you decided to go with it to get on that bloody honeymoon. And even then, throughout the honeymoon, you knew Marshall was not your person. You knew that it was Josh at that point in time, but you did nothing to change that. So how would you then expect yourself to be open and nurturing to the person that you didn't want to pick in the first place? That the two do not compute at the end of the day. So Jackie apologizing, yes, she should have apologized, and she should have done that a lot earlier than what she did. But then to turn around and said that she should have been open and nurturing, more open and nurturing to him. No, because you were not feeling that. So how would you have been able to be open and nurturing to a man that you weren't feeling that type of way for at the end of the day? So Jackie was there saying that she really did like Marshall. And Marshall was saying that he did like her. But I don't see it. I'm sorry, I don't. I think this is just her literally trying to save face at the end of the day because of the backlash that she's got through the internet. The internet don't mess. The general public don't mess, actually. The court of public opinion don't mess. And they saw the mess that she created. So I think this is just her trying to reinvent herself. Now, my thing is, if you really do like a person, then you ain't going to treat them like that, to be fair. You ain't going to literally hang them on a merry way. You're not going to treat them like that. You're going to show them an ounce of respect. And I'm sorry, for the show that I watched, Jackie did not give Marshall any grace, and she did not show him an ounce of respect, either through the show or when things started to happen after the show. She was literally in defense mode. So no, I don't see how she really did like him at the end of the day. But as again, you lot can correct me if I'm wrong, but that is my thoughts in regards of the situation as it stands. So then you see Irina making the rounds, and at first she goes to Josh and basically says to him about us villains got to stick together. And I'm just like, at least you know where your place is, my love. At the end of the day, at least you know where your place is. I ain't going to argue with you on that one. I am not going to argue with Irina on that one. And then she seeks out Amber in order to seek validation, to apologise to her for what she did in terms of sneaking and laughing and thinking that was funny. Because you know what? All these people have watched this shit back. And as again, I would say Irina is trying to reinvent herself and trying to lessen the impact of what she did in the court of public opinion. And that's why she's going around and apologizing to the people that she needs to apologize to. But Amber, being the bigger person that she is, has basically said that she doesn't care. Thank you for the apology, but I don't really care because I've moved past that. And this is what I'm saying, it's been a year, because at the end of the day, these people know how to contact each other if they really well and truly wanted to. So if she really meant her apology after she knew that shit was going to come out, or she's seen it or she's watched it, you would have been straight on the horn to literally try and get in touch with Amber to literally apologize for what she did at that moment in time. But she didn't. She waited a whole year. She waited a whole year till everybody was coming together, then to apologise to her. So I would have done the same thing as Amber. I would have said, oh, okay, thanks for the apology, but I don't care. I'm an adult. I've moved past that now. So now we get to the drama that is Micah and Paul. Because at first, Micah's friend did turn around and say to Micah, you're not going to talk to Paul? And she was like, well, no, I'm not going to do that. And this is what I mean about Micah and her childish behaviour, because pull your big girl pants up and go talk to him, because at the end of the day, you're upset. You are upset that he's still talking to you and you're allowing him that access to you, but yet he's dating someone else, because in your feelings, you felt that he left the door open to you. And for Paul, he should have literally just told her where they stood at the end of the day, or they both should have had that conversation, but they didn't. They chose not to have that conversation and carry on blindly at the end of the day. So Micah speaks to Paul, and well, Paul went to her basically and had the chat with her. And basically she wanted to know what his intentions were towards her. And basically he was saying that, you know, they're still texting, they're still talking. And basically she was saying that's confusing for her because he's dating someone now. So as well, you get the fact that Micah said that she doesn't want to be friends with him because she is not ready. And Micah actually does say goodbye to Paul. And I had to say at that point, I said, well done to Micah, because she actually set down what it is that she was going to accept and what she wasn't going to accept. So she set her boundaries. So now Paul knows quite quickly that no, that avenue of conversation or whatever it was you were trying to keep open is now closed to you. So you now have to deal with your emotions as they lay. You can't keep sucking her in, pushing her back, sucking her in, pushing her back in that sense. At the end of the day, concentrate on the person you're dating. That door is now firmly closed, and Micah has now closed that door. So then we get to the drama of the night. We knew there was going to be some drama. Like, we knew there was going to be some drama up in this episode somewhere. And it came in the form of Monica. Now, for those of you that don't know who Monica is, because me myself, I was quite shocked because me don't know who Monica was. I didn't even know who Monica was at the end of the day. So, Monica is the person that during the experiment, Josh decided to ask to marry him. Bearing in mind that he just lost out to for Marshall to Jackie, because he wanted Jackie at the end of the day. So we just lost out Jackie, I should say, to Marshall. So he decided that he was going to ask Monica to marry him. Bearing in mind, he didn't really want to marry Monica. We all knew this. He didn't really want to marry Monica. He didn't even really want to ask her. But I think to stay on the show or to try and cause some type of bullshit between Marshall and Jackie, the only way he knew he'd be able to do that to stay on the show is to ask someone to marry him, and Monica was like the fallen party and she accepted. But it was when they were actually talking, because it showed you that unseen bit when they were actually talking after she'd accepted the marriage proposal. He was kind of rude. Yeah, he was rude. He was rude and quite childish, to be fair. So as Jackie finds out that Monica's coming, Jackie wanted to get up and leave. And I'm like, no. You need to deal with this shit head on. This is the problem with these people. You're adults. If you have an issue with someone, deal with it head on. And let the chips fall where they may. At least you sorted your shit out and put your point across at the end of the day. So basically, Monica comes in, her and Jackie are having this conversation, and Monica is literally saying how close she was to Jackie in regards to their friendship, and she was quite sad that she lost their friendship, and she was explaining to Jackie that she wanted to get her truth out there. Now, she said that she didn't go to any blogs or whatever it is that came up. She didn't go to any blogs and give no information. And what they have to realise is with some blogs, they'll just take the information off the interview that person's already given and put that out there as fodder at the end of the day. And that's how those things come about. But my thing is how can you not expect this lady, Monica, to talk about her experience of Love is Blind and her experience of dealing with Josh at the end of the day? Because ain't her feelings valid? So Monica was basically saying to Jackie that she came and she spoke to her first and told her that she was going to do an interview speaking about her engagement and speaking about her experience with Josh at the end of the day. So Jackie was well aware that she was going to have this conversation. So where all of this little frou-frou blew up from, I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you in the slightest at the end of the day. So basically Monica was putting down what I was feeling, that she wasn't sure where things went wrong or what had happened. And Jackie was basically telling Monica that her experience was valid, that her story was valid. But the issue with Jackie is saying that Monica was then throwing shade and she shouldn't have been messy, but it just felt very messy. The whole situation felt messy. And I thought, that's the pot calling the kettle black. Did you not see what the fuck you did to Marshall and the mess you created and how messy you were? But not even the fact that the actions you took towards Marshall, but then it's also the afterthought and tried to use certain issues against him. That was hella messy and invalidating the feelings of Marshall. So how can you then turn around and tell Monica that her putting her feelings out there and her experiences was messy when she's telling you that she didn't go to no blogs, that she did an interview, but she didn't go to no blogs as Josh is trying to tell you that she did. So at the end of the day, what Jackie is saying is that she's going to believe anything that Josh says against anybody else in that regard. And that's where her downfall is going to be. So then we see Monica tell Jackie to bring Josh over at the end of the day because she wanted to dead this all in the water, and already Josh is on the back foot. And this is what I mean about this man don't shut his mouth. He just listens to respond, and that's all he was doing when it came to Monica, because he wanted to save face. He had the audacity, he had the full-on audacity to call Monica a clout chaser. What clout is she chasing, my guy? Like, seriously, what clout is Monica chasing from you? Because at the end of the day, the reason why you stayed relevant is because of the fuck shit that you and Jackie did towards Marshall. That's the only reason why you stayed relevant, and the only reason why you's accepted to come on the show again. So who's clout chasing who? Who is clout chasing who at the end of the day? And then the fucked up thing is that after that conversation ended, Jackie wanted to leave, went outside, had that conversation with Josh, wanted to leave, because there is trouble in paradise with the both of them. I don't care how they try and play it out that they're this most romantic couple or this, that and the other. No, Jackie is saving face in this situation. Jackie is definitely saving face in this situation. So they went out, had their conversation, and Jackie then said she wanted to leave. Now, somebody tell me why Josh then re-entered the bar, then went over to Chelsea to have the conversation with Chelsea, and then talk about again that Monica was chasing clout. Jackie was stood outside in the motherfucking cold waiting for this man to come back out to her. This man did not leave that bar. He literally was staying there to have his 2 pence worth, to get his opinion across, to get his view across. Man, you left your girl outside waiting for you in the cold. You left your girl waiting for you outside in the cold, and then you want to talk about clout chasing. I mean, even to the point where Chelsea had to tell him, why does it matter? Chelsea had to tell him, you need to be above it all and live your life, take care of your girl. That's what Chelsea told him. Go take care of your girl. Because your girl was still outside, but yet you're still inside, going blah, 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 to whoever would listen. But yet you left your girl outside, and then you want to talk about Monica's clout chasing. Someone wants the limelight a little bit too much. That's all I'm saying. Someone wanted the limelight a little bit too much. So then it goes on to the next day, and you see that they've gone to a football match to watch Kwame play football. And all I'm gonna say is it's just so good to see how much these couples have grown, like Kwame and Chelsea, Brett and Tiffany, and Bliss and Zach. It's just lovely to see how much they have grown. And this is the point where I think it was Bliss's dad had paid for Zach and Bliss to have a honeymoon if they'd stayed the course, which they did, and they went around Europe. Now, I followed them on Instagram at the end of the day, so I was aware that they'd already done their honeymoon in Europe and all this, that and the other. But as again, we have now come to the end of this episode. But I cannot wait, because now we know that I think it's September 22nd that Love is Blind Season 5 is coming. And I'll be on this YouTube having those chats with you and breaking it all down, doing my reactions, doing my reviews, and I cannot wait. But then I also know as well that we are waiting for Married at First Sight UK. They said it's coming this month, but we don't know what date yet. And I cannot wait to get into that with you as well. But as I always say, please hit that subscribe button. Please hit that notification button so when you know when I'm on and back and doing videos. And do whatever else it is that you like to do. And I shall see you all again soon. Peace out.